All right, so this is another video on the Boston Celtics. This video is a little bit older. This was before the third game. Boston is currently up 3-0 to the Indiana Pacers, and I found this video tonight, and it's of Chris Bouchard talking about the possibility of the Celtics making the finals. If not making the finals, I guess losing in the second round to Milwaukee. But I'm gonna let them talk. Real quick, I believe Milwaukee has a great chance to win this year because their team looks so much better than they did last year. Now, I'll give Milwaukee that. And Boston this year has had a habit of shooting terribly. Like, even in this Pacers series, I believe if Oladipo was healthy, this would be a 7-game series. This team is a terrible streak shooting team where one night they'll probably, shoot lights out, and they'll look really great with the passing of the ball, being able to get open 3-pointers, and then Kyrie doing his work on whoever's guarding him. And then other nights they look like an average basketball team where they're just missing. Just nothing that seems to be going their way. And Boston has had that problem this year. Now, I only seen Chris Bouchard's first little section here, and before I decided to do a video, and I just gotta say this: Milwaukee last year, at the start of the playoffs, everybody just thought that Milwaukee would beat Boston probably in 6 games. If that, it may not even be that. I mean, you had no Gordon Hayward, you had no Kyrie Irving, you had a Jason Tatum that nobody expected to play. I mean, people knew that he was a really good player, but nobody expected him to play the way he did in the playoffs. Jaylen Brown, nobody expected him to play the way he did in the playoffs. They didn't have Marcus Smart, but the biggest surprise in that series was Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier, and this is when the whole Scary Terry thing became a thing. He was big in that series. Now, going into the playoffs, nobody expected Boston to beat Milwaukee, but Milwaukee was taken to 7 games by the Boston Celtics. Now, let's hear what Chris has to say. It's the truth. If Boston does lose to Milwaukee in the second round, Boston last year looked far more dominant. If they do lose to Milwaukee in the second round, they look far more dominant last year during their playoff run than they would this year. Even during this 3-0 lead versus the Indiana Pacers, they look, I don't know, they just don't look, they don't look as good. Like, this is not a dominant Celtics team. This is not a dominant, these are not dominant performances. They're winning, they won by 10 games, they won by 8 games, they won by less than 10 points in their latest one. These are not dominant wins. And then if you lose to Milwaukee in 5, 6, 7 games, last year's playoff run was way better than this year's playoff run if it ends that way. Look, I'm not going to say the Boston Celtics are better without Kyrie Irving. Now, I said earlier this season that I believe that this team can be better than they were last year if they managed to, if they found a way to get past whatever issues that the younger guys had with Kyrie and Gordon Hayward and the minutes, being spread around and all this other stuff. And the younger guys had to be able to let their egos go, or Kyrie would have to leave in order for for this to work. Either the younger guys would have to be okay with the role that they have for now, for the sake of this season, or this season is a wash and Kyrie would have to leave for this experiment to work. But so far, it seems like they seem to bury the hatchet for now, and they understand what's at stake, and they seem to be more focused on that. But do I think that this team is better without Kyrie Irving? No. I mean, just look at Kyrie during this current playoff stint. I mean, this dude looks unstoppable, man. I mean, some of the shots this dude is shooting, it looks effortless out there. He looks effortless out there doing the things that he's doing. No. They took Milwaukee 7 games because Milwaukee was the favorite going into that series. I am hard pressed to find one sports analyst that did a prediction for the playoffs, particularly the first round, that had Boston a favorite versus the Milwaukee Bucks. With no Kyrie, with no Gordon Hayward, with no Marcus Smart. And the other team has Giannis, Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe, John Henson, Don Maker. There's no way, and I believe Malcolm Brogdon was playing as well. There's no way you're going to tell me that they weren't the favorite. Listen, Milwaukee last year and Milwaukee this year, there is not a huge gap. The only real gap that you have is there's 2 of them. It's Giannis's play, and it's Brook Lopez. That's it. Brook Lopez being able to hit those 3-point shots, it kind of makes them more dangerous. Giannis being as dominant as he is, it makes him more dangerous. Now, I've always believed that Malcolm Brogdon was a baller, man. When he won Rookie of the Year and everybody was talking about how they don't think he should have won that award. They believe it should have went to somebody else who probably was more deserving of it. I kind of figured Malcolm Brogdon is going to tear shit up. I mean, this dude can shoot. I'm pretty sure he can pass. He seems like he has a nice size to be a solid defender, but the defense is mostly effort. So as long as he wants to, I'm pretty sure he can play defense. I mean, and this year he's putting up 50, 40, 90, which you don't see too often. Milwaukee was a great team last year, and now people think just because they won 60 games and Budenholzer is on this team. Mike Budenholzer got the Atlanta Hawks to 60 wins in the first round. First number 1 seed. Sorry, number 1 seed. He got them to a number 1 seed. He got them 60 wins. What happened? I believe they got bounced out in the first round. If not that, they got bounced out in the second round. I actually got to look that up because, yeah, they weren't so great. And now everybody has these expectations for these Bucks. The same expectations they have for the Hawks, they have for the Bucks. Budenholzer is a great coach that can somehow get the most out of the players that he's coaching. But no one's going to make me believe that Milwaukee is just going to go into Boston or go into the Boston series and just stun the Boston Celtics. I would have to see it first. There's no way the Milwaukee talent versus the Boston talent is similar. Boston has way more depth. I would say Milwaukee is. I wouldn't even give them a what do you call it? An edge, top heavy, like top side. I wouldn't even give them the edge. I mean, Giannis is a great talent, but Kyrie's not that far off, man. If you look at the top 3 players in Milwaukee, which are Giannis, Chris Middleton, it depends. Chris Middleton or Malcolm Brogdon and Eric Bledsoe. 2 of those last 3 guys. I mean, you just make your pick. Versus Kyrie Irving, Al Horford, and Jason Tatum. There's no way you're going to tell me that they have a better team. Now, no, the only thing, and I said this already, the only thing that would make Milwaukee a more viable option is the fact that Boston falls in love with the long range ball, and they tend to miss the long range ball. And sometimes when you live by the 3, you can sometimes shoot yourself out of a lot of games. All right, listen, man. Going into that Philly series, Philly was a massive favorite. They were a massive favorite. You're talking about Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid versus the young guys in Boston with no Kyrie and no. They were a massive fucking favorite, and he just came off of a series where they completely destroyed the Miami Heat. Miami got like a game. I believe they got one game. After they won that one game, I believe the series was 1-1. They destroyed them for 3 straight games, man. And then going into the series against Boston, they were favorites. And then what happened? Boston completely destroyed them. And the only game they won was because of one player on the Philadelphia 76ers, and his name is not Joel Embiid. His name is not Ben Simmons. TJ McConnell was the reason why they won that fucking game. He gave Terry Rozier all kinds of fucking hell. TJ McConnell is the reason why Philly got that one win. If it wasn't for him, Philly might have got swept. That's how bad they were in that series. Ben Simmons had a game where he only scored 1 fucking point. Joel Embiid was getting bullied down low by Aaron Baines and Al Horford. Yeah, I mean, he was putting up 20 in 10 games. But if you look at it, like, yo, he was really getting pushed around down there. Come on, bro. They were massive favorites. Everybody was looking at... I'm not going to say everybody. A lot of people were looking at Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons like superstars. Some were even calling them superstars. And I'm sitting here like, no, they're not. They're young. They're very talented, but they're young. You can't call them superstars yet. Especially Ben Simmons. This nigga don't even know how to shoot. Your center on your team shoots better than your fucking supposed point guard. Like, come on, bro. Like, they were massive favorites, man. And for this dude to come on TV and start talking about the Boston and Philly series, like Boston was just that much better before the series even started, nobody knew Boston was going to destroy them the way they did. They're beating Indiana because Brad Stevens, listen, Nate McMillan is a great coach. I'm not going to say that he's one of the best coaches in the NBA, but he does a solid job. Everywhere he goes, he does a solid job with the pieces he has. And what he has done with the Indiana Pacers post Victor Oladipo is impressive. But to you can't compare Nate McMillan to Brad Stevens. All right, they have a coaching advantage. They have the talent advantage, and Indiana is without their star player. So, look, man, I don't know how the Milwaukee series is going to go for Boston. But the one thing they can't do is they cannot fall in love with the three-point shot. They will lose. If Milwaukee plays the level of defense that is smothering the three-point line and forcing them inside the paint, Milwaukee might win this game, might win this series in like 6 games. If it even gets that far. If Boston could find ways to score efficiently while also stopping whatever it is Giannis is preparing, is capable of doing, they have a better chance to win that series than Milwaukee does. You have to stop Giannis. You have to force anybody else on the team to step up and be that guy. You have to shut Giannis down. Which is a lot to deal with, man. Giannis is a very big, very long guy. You have to be able to stop him. But you also can't go into these slumps that Boston is known for having, where you just miss a whole bunch of fucking shots. And you just, and then when they go through these fucking lulls in offense, they're just keep fucking shooting because they think the more you shoot, the better chances you have of knocking one down. Which in all theory makes sense. But it's stupid, especially when the other team is able to score inside the paint or close to the paint. And then you have this really long guy over there that can fucking destroy you in a number of ways besides the three-point line. I mean, he has the body of a fucking center, but he's a small forward. Let's hear what he says.
The Celtics' other players finally realized, okay, he's the man, right? He's the guy. I don't think they do.
All right, and I agree with that, and that's what they had to do. And I said this earlier in the season. The only way Boston is going to be able to get through these issues that they're having inside their locker room, there's 2 ways this is going to happen. One way is the young guys have to they have to stop with their ego trip and they have to let Kyrie be the player. And they have to fall in line. And this is what Brad Stevens wants them to do, is follow, Kyrie's the guy. Or the other way is they completely fuck up this season and Kyrie leaves in the offseason, and then you just start over next year with Tatum and Jaylen Brown being your 2 anchors. But I also said that I don't know if Kyrie can be a leader. I don't know if Kyrie knows how to be a leader. I mean, leadership isn't something you just know how to do. Like, you have to learn, man. Sometimes you have to follow better men to become a better man. So I don't even know if Kyrie is able to do this, but we'll see, man. I may do a video on the rest of this, but I just need to get this whole thing out here with Chris Broussard and how the fucking media is so all over the place with a lot of the statements that they make. Like, and none of their statements hold up because they're willing to change them at any fucking moment when they think everybody forgot about the last thing they said. All right.